Whoa, welcome to That's Good Broncos pregame live super show. It's super because it's live. That's literally the only reason. Hi, EA Gaming, Danny Kelly, thanks for joining me. Dan Doza, what the fuck is up with you, buddy? Brazil tuning in. All right, what do we got here? Somebody's already saying Von Miller's going to get the Big Dick Player Award. Well, maybe. It's a long game. Long game. Broncos Raiders. Division game. This is important. The Broncos win today. It's a big win. They will have beaten the Chargers and the Raiders, of course, which is important with the Chiefs, who continue to win. It's my man. Oh, yeah. Thanks for calling me the Big Dick Player. Sorry, I'm not drunk. Maybe just too much coffee today. All right, so this matchup. You've already seen the prediction episode. You know what I think about it. I feel good. I feel good that the Broncos are going to win this game. Michael Crabtree, that's the big story. He's not playing with the chest injury. So I think that's really going to limit what the Raiders will be able to do during in the passing game. And if the Broncos can shut down the run and the Raiders are forced to try to beat the Broncos with Amari Cooper and their tight end, Jared Cook, I don't think it's going to happen. I think the no-fly zone is going to play better than they did last week. I think it's going to be a good defensive day for the Broncos. Ground control in the no-fly zone. No chain snatching. Yeah, we would have liked to see, part 2 of the most complex love story in the NFL. But it just doesn't look like it's going to happen this week. Aqib Talib said on Vic Lombardi's show he wasn't going to snatch his chain anyway. So, Somebody just said Marshawn Lynch is washed up. I don't think that's necessarily true. I thought he looked very good week 1. I didn't watch him last week. In week 2, I think he did some decent things. Don't count him out. If that offensive line is blocking well, that could be an issue. But I think the Broncos' run defense is going to remain one of the best in the league. They're stuffing runners, and the most impressive thing they continue to do is shed blocks at the line of scrimmage and stop runners short of even the line of scrimmage. So, the one thing I did notice that was interesting is Brendan Langley is inactive. He returned to practice this week after his injury. He, of course, is the rookie corner. We saw him return kicks, and we know Cody Latimer's been dealing with an injury this week. So I thought it was interesting that they didn't activate him and that Cody Latimer, I believe, then will be returning kicks. And I thought he was questionable or doubtful, but whatever. So Jordan Taylor still inactive as well. And that's kind of the latest updates before this game. We got some funky Tom Brady's coming in. How many turnovers will the Broncos get today? I'm going to say 2. 1 fumble, which they haven't forced and recovered any fumbles this season. 1 fumble and 1 pick six. Maybe. That's a bold prediction, but hopefully it's correct. TJ Ward is going to play great today in Tampa Bay. He's actually been playing really well so far this season. So anybody following TJ in Tampa, he's been outplaying Simmons and Will Parks right now. How many sacks for Vaughn? I think Vaughn actually has a favorable matchup. The right side of the Raiders offensive line could be an issue for them. So let's say Von Miller gets 1.5 sacks, but he forces the fumble we've been talking about. That's pretty good. DeMarcus Walker, he's been playing a little bit. Shaq Barrett, that right side of the left side of the Raiders line is really good. So if Shaq Barrett and Adam Gotsis over there don't have as big a game as we've been getting used to, that's why. Press 2 if you think I love sausage. I don't know what that means. What happens if you press 2? What happens if you press 2 right now? How many rushing TDs for the Raiders? 0. 0.5. For the Broncos, 2. I think they're gonna focus on the run game again. The first 2 weeks they were successful because the run was working well. Against Buffalo, they came out throwing a lot, and they did have success early. But I think C.J. Anderson and Jamaal Charles have favorable matchups against the Raiders defense, who got torched by the Washington Redskins last week. What else we got here? LeVar Ball, why do you keep calling me dad? Do I remind you of your father? Do you need a father figure in your life? Garrett Bowles is good. Yeah, Bowles played really well. And I think he'll play better after he's had another week to sort of rest his legs. So, what else we got here? I'm starting Siemian over Dak Prescott in fantasy. Right now, Cowboys are up 17-6. I think Siemian will have a better week. I'm going to predict that Siemian does not throw an interception this week. 2 touchdowns, 220 yards, and the Broncos rush for 150 to 180, something like that. Sanders, Emmanuel Sanders. I bet Demaryius Thomas gets his first touchdown of the season as well. So DT is going to find the end zone. I think that is important. We want DT to get the touchdown love. He needs the end zone to make love to him for the score. I look like I'm on drugs. Thank you. Now, this is just how not sleeping looks. Although, actually, I did sleep well. Maybe this is too much sleep. I'm going to continue to do this for the rest of the video. Any word on Booker? He is inactive today. Yep, inactive. Sanders. Sorry, not Sanders. Inactives. Devontae Booker, Brendan Langley, Paxton Lynch, Kyle Pecco, Theba Rubin, Jordan Taylor, and Billy Turner. Deshaun Kaiser. I haven't watched much of the Browns-Bengals this morning. Deshaun Watson looks good for the Texans. If they can get their offense going, the Texans are going to be a dangerous team because their defense is really fucking good. D'Angelo Henderson, he might get a carry this week. So far this regular season, his only carry has been on that fake punt, I believe, right? So, the Bills are beating the Falcons. The Patriots-Panthers game is surprisingly close right now. Glad the Broncos are your second favorite team, Dimitri. If the Broncos go 2-2, it's not the end of the world, but it will suck. It will suck a lot. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Broncos be 3-1. The Broncos play to their full potential, eliminate the mistakes. They're going to win this game. Shane Ray's return will be nice once he gets healthy, but let's be honest, Shaq Barrett's been playing better than Shane Ray. So better overall. It's been great as a pass rusher and great in run defense. But Shane returning will be a nice boost as well, adding depth on the defense. I think the Rams are a legitimately good team this season. Their biggest question's been their defense, which is kind of strange because they got a lot of talent there and they got Wade Phillips now. So that defense locks down. I think the Rams will win the NFC West. That's easy to say right now because the NFC West looks like shit. Who's most likely to get BDP? I don't know. Maybe Trevor Siemian. Maybe Aqib Talib. Maybe Adam Gotsis. Maybe Brandon McManus. Maybe not Matt Paradis. I don't think a center has ever won. If Matt Paradis catches a touchdown, I'll give him the BDP. Mark my words. How many picks for Trev? I already said 0. Trev's getting 0 picks. 0. Kareem in my cunt hunt is dangerous. Yes. And I forgot I even said that. So thank you for reminding me. What else? What other questions? Crabtree versus Talib. Crabtree, I don't think is playing today. He's doubtful. So that chest injury must not be feeling too well. I think Jamaal Charles is going to be used in the short passing game for the Broncos. I think they're going to try to get him in the flat, in some screens, and get him the ball because last week Chris Thompson destroyed him. So Jamaal Charles could have a big day, not necessarily taking handoffs, but catching balls out of the backfield. Benjamin Watson is down in Baltimore. I started him in FanDuel. Giovanni Bernard is taking one to the house right now. Damn, I was going to put him in a lineup too. I suck at daily fantasy. Any worries this game? Yeah, I worry about stuff every game. Mistakes. Broncos got to eliminate mistakes, show they're a more disciplined team than they were last week, because they can't lose games by beating themselves. If they get outplayed physically or whatever, that happens. Also, right tackle position for the Broncos. You got Khalil Mack against Watson. Some local media are saying, Watson's a power blocker. Khalil Mack's a power rusher, so it should be a good matchup for Watson. If he plays well against Khalil Mack, I think that'll be a good sign for the Broncos. We know Watson's faced basically the best pass rushers in the NFL this season. So hopefully he kind of starts to get his feet under him, and we see improvement on the right side of that line. What else do we have here? Shout out to Bakersfield Pete, please, not pizza. When does Shane Ray return? Mid to late October. He had to be out 6 weeks, so I think late October since they have the bye. Carr versus Simmons. We want to see Simmons and Will Parks both play better in coverage situations. So, Orange Weekly doing the halftime on Facebook. I would watch that, but after you watch my Periscope halftime report on Twitter. Sorry, Orange Weekly. I got to promote me first. When is Book back? I don't know. He's been practicing, but he's inactive. So the nice thing is they don't need Booker back in the lineup. But, Booker, D'Angelo Henderson, whoever that third back is, I don't feel like getting a lot of carries anyway. The one thing Booker was very good at last season was catching balls. I think he was like the second or third leading receiver for the Broncos. So Jake Butt, mid-season, he was also on the PUP, so he had to be out at least 6 weeks, I believe. And I keep forgetting Jake Butt's on the team. I received my Jake Butt shirt that I designed for my shirt store. I believe there's a link in the description. I just washed it. I'm going to wear it again because once the Broncos get Butt into the lineup, I think dynamic pass catcher, somebody Trevor Siemian can rely on third downs, that will be huge for the offense. And maybe DT gets a touchdown today and a tight end gets a touchdown. And if the Raiders receivers have a big game, I think it's their tight end. So, I just said tight end TD. We were on the same page, Dylan. All right. That's a good pregame, right? Is there anything else I need to answer before I go and try to eat something before this game starts? Mariko Salazar, shout out. What else? Yes, I think the Broncos will win. What's for lunch? Some Jersey Mike's. Honestly, the Club Supreme. Get that roast beef and that turkey. Somebody wants to suck my nipples. If you can get through all the hair, it's all yours. It's all yours. Dab? No, I'm not going to dab unless you're talking about drugs. And then I'm still not going to do it because I got to keep my mind sharp for this game. Thank you guys for tuning in to That's Good Broncos, That's Good Sports pregame. Go Broncos, Raiders week, big game. Oh, man. Oh, I love all of you.